Is this thing on? Oh, hello. My name is /Limcool, and I wanted to welcome you to this video. I'm closely related to Skippy, and I was gonna show you this library, but then I thought about it and went, he made it, so maybe he'd be the best one to show it first. But it's a good library, so let me go find him. Here's John Skippy Limcool. One second. Hi there, and my name's John Skippy Limcool, and thank you, Slash. Good Lord. Yes, it's the day after Halloween, so we still have residual Halloween going on here a little bit. My name is John Skippy Limcool. I'm very, 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 very happy to show you a new patch library for Omnisphere. This is Omniverse 2, and I can show you the artwork because I have it right here. Here it is. Omniverse 2, A Dark Hope. I kind of gave a theme to a lot of these patches. I wanted to have some fun with a theme because Omnisphere, every movie you go to, you hear it. And I wanted to make some patches that were perfect for that. But also there's a lot of stuff happening in the dance world where they're taking elements from the film world. All the effects and swooshes and stuff from movie trailers are just on every pop song. I wanted to give... I just wanted a darker tone. So I'm going to show you patches that there's all sorts of really in-your-face big stuff, cool dance pulsy things too, because there's 100 patches, but there's stuff beyond just that. So here's the two files that you get. You get 100 patches, and these go into, you go over here, go to users, John. By the way, see how the library shows up in Mavericks? That's because if you go to your options right here, show view options, right here is a button to turn on show library. Thank goodness they figured out that we need to get there. So turn that on if you're in Mavericks on OS X. In the library, application support, Spectrasonics. So you open Steam. So right here in the settings libraries where both of these go. Patches, you will drag Omniverse 2 right into the patches. So it shows up right here next to factory, projects, and user, and Omniverse 1 if you have that. Then under presets is where you're going to put the other element of this library. The effects guru rack. This goes right here to where it says effects, down to racks, and then right there's where you'll put it. So it shows up at the end of the list. This gives you 50 effect racks. There's what we call effects, which change the sound noticeably, and mixes, which enhance the sound. But both of them will use delays or reverbs, but the effects ones will use more distortion, the smoke, the overdrive, the different effects that colorize the sound, so you don't necessarily recognize it, whereas mixes mainly using EQ, compressors, limiters, the slammer, stuff like that. So then you get to Omnisphere, and we turn it on. If we go over here, the first thing I do is go to sort and set it to A to Z, so it shows it alphabetically. You can click this little refresh button if you've just installed the library, and that will have it read the directories to make sure that it's all there. So when you click directory, there it is. And we're at A to Z, so we go to the top. I'm just going to step through and play some patches. Everything has the mod wheel assigned. A pause during battle. This is a fun one because Envelope is slowly bringing in an LFO pulse. So you play a note. And as long as you play legato, the pulse will stay. Move the mod wheel. Now, Dark Horse Sub, funny story. This is making the the sub bass from Katy Perry's song Dark Horse. And actually, Omnisphere was used for this. I can guarantee you without a doubt. In fact, here, let me show you. If we go to the factory patches, I gotta take off my glasses so I can see better. Let's go over here to kick. Right here is the tonal sine kick. And some smart producer went to the effect page and they only turned on the flame distortion, brought down the filter, and that's basically the sound. They might have put slammer on it. But I found this after I'd made it. I'd made it, then I went searching through the library. I was like, it's because you get used to, when you work with an instrument as much as I've worked with the Omnisphere, you get to know the sound. Omnisphere has a very distinct sound that you're hearing more and more on pop songs. I did some stuff to make this. So it goes more places than the tonal sub patch. So there's that. Here's Deep Planet. I won't play every patch, I promise. Love that sound. All right, here's a dubby-steppy kind of sound. And if you hold it down, it gets all dysfunctional. What you talking about? Man Mordor, there's a funny story. I opened this up to be available to people on my Facebook page to buy it early and use it and get feedback to me. And a gentleman in Canada is working on a film. And he sent a note saying he was using 4 synthesizers to make a sound. And he made those 4 synthesizers go away and used this one sound. And he said he loved it far better. And then I got another email a couple of days later. He goes, the director just heard the music and he wants me to go back to earlier in the film and use this sound on other parts. He said, so thank you for making me look good. So that's Mad Mordor. So. So I think you get the tone. The basses are ready for all sorts of cool drama. There's that. There's Twinkle Music Box. And there's all sorts of random stuff each time you play a note. That's some of the magic of Omnisphere. I mean, if it was the same sample playing every time the exact same way, it would be nowhere nearly as musical or as expressive. All right, BPM stuff. People love all the BPM stuff. Lots of cool BPM. If I can play it right. Fizzwood. Oh, this is Fuzzwood. Using the mod wheel to make it dark and punchy. Fizzy. Nasty residual. And this is fun. One of the advantages of Omnisphere over most of the synthesizers out there is we can do such things as using a long reverb, and I'm modulating, if I control click on this, I'm modulating this mix with LFO2. So as I play a note and then let up my note, that kind of capability isn't found in very many synthesizers. And so you can take advantage of it to make some interesting stuff. All right, so there you go. Trouble with tension. Okay, decision-making time. Series subs. It will go beyond speaker levels. Okay, so now we get to some of the fun stuff. There's guitar BPM, and then there's straight ahead guitar, because there's so much guitar in the library that I didn't think had been exposed as much as it needed to be. So I'm going to expose it. These are pads with BPM pulsing by arpeggiators. So as you play, this one's not arpeggiated. Some are. So there's that. There's steel pulse. And this, again, since it's an arpeggiator for this one, you can and each one's kind of got a different vibe to it. So this one's this is one where I'm using a very cool and useful feature in Omnisphere, the velocity. Because this guitar, if you hit really hard, you get some really painful, bright samples. And I've curved it so that it can't get to those samples. If I was to take the velocity and bring it up all the way, play hard, I didn't want those. So you can curve the velocity to avoid those. So that's another cool feature. Nylon string pad. These are fun to play for rhythm parts and dance tracks. Really cool. The Parker Pezzo. So the mod wheel here brings up a high pass filter, fizzies, everything else. So you just get the light part of the string. That's kind of cool. Here's some BPM leads. Two note special means play two note chords. If you play more, you get cool, interesting stuff. And I have that radio delay following along in a cool way. Evil elephant. That's what it does. Go Dog Go is a pitchy thing. When you play just with the module up, you got just the bass. So you can play with it that way. Happy Bear. Couple new vintage ARPs. New vintage ARP is really cool. I love this one. Obsessive Pluck is a wonderful plucky synth. It's fun because it goes from, in fact, you can turn the ARP off. This is a really great synth sound by itself just to use for that kind of stuff too. Popcorn Paradise. Get the idea. Okay, now we come to the BPM pads. These are lovely. Here's Oceanic, which uses whale samples. Okay, so here is Sitar Pulse Nirvana. I've had a lot of requests for ethnic used differently than you might expect. This is one where it's kind of cool to go to A, and you can change this to be a whole bunch of different stuff inside of Omnisphere. You go to guitars. You could go to the flamenco. Or the Martin or the nylon. They all work really nice. So make sure you do that. Actually, choirs, bells, time is pulsing away. And then really pulsing away. True Tech. Bach's Dream Pulse. Dreamy when your mod wheel's up. We get to the synth stuff. Blinded by the Beacon. Dueling Hemispheres is really fun. I'm using a square wave to change effect settings for half of the phrase and then go away for the other half of the phrase. So when you play... got reverb, other things. Love to Watch Her Dance is one of the early patches I made for the library. Love this one. There's Moon by Ping Pong, Poppy Sizzler, Synchro Generator's cool. Kind of far away, and it's cool like that. Infinity Chamber. This will take your computer down, so be careful with this one, because mod wheel up. Get just this percussive thing is really cool. Okay, here's Universal Optimist. Bring the mod wheel up. You lose your pattern. Get simple. Wrecking Ball. I was trying to figure out, it seemed like they used Omnisphere for the synth part, and I couldn't quite nail it, but I did nail how they did it using an arpeggiator set to legato, and I found a sound similar to it, so you can... if you play legato at the right time, check this out, this is kind of fun. The arpeggiator phrase keeps going on. So if you play and just... So you have this nice long phrase. If you re-trigger... then don't re-trigger. So you could get kind of the phrasing that was done in the song. I tried. Here's some cool effects. Oh, and I hit my microphone. Falling Sign. It's always nice to have a couple of those. Gong of Hades. Something bad just happened. couple drones. For Aliens 5. Mod wheel up makes pitch and stuff go crazy, so you get... So there you go. Unstable space is cool too. We'll skip it. Now, here's where we get to the fun stuff, in my opinion. So the Dark Hope was about sounds that you can use for playing and generating melodies and playing parts. And so there's a number of these and a number of key patches. So the heart of the library are these sounds that you actually have to play. You need a keyboard. They're very velocity sensitive. They're not super loud necessarily. Here's Beside the Still Waters. So you play them. They're not just a button push to play. Classical and high voices. And then I included the low voices because different vibe, totally different. So there's a lot of expressivity. Worked really hard to get it to be something you want to sit and play and not stop playing. So all of these work that way. Desert Heat is using the slide guitar and Bugs. Ebo realignment is using Ebo guitar and the granular options to make it keep changing and evolving a little bit. So one second. Okay. Just thought it might be appropriate for that. Dance Organizer is a cool dance organ. And then we get to a unique series. So this is a different take on acoustic piano that hasn't showed up in Honest here yet, I don't think. Not that I've seen. This is using a burning piano and the sad piano, which is the ambient piano, as the body to create a series of piano patches that are very playable and unique. So concert pianist is like, picture the old guy with the white hair. I'm not going to put the wig on again. And So it's a nice piano. This particular one has a little bit of a long release. That kind of like gave it the live concert hall kind of a feel. So I use that for the natural ambience of it. And if you need one that's a little bit faster, shorter, play the Amore. Almost works like a ballroom piano, you know, like an old ballroom. But it's also expressive, so you can also get if you hold them out, fire comes in a little bit. I filtered it so it's not quite as crazy, but this is a dulcimer, which is using the shift and another sound layered with it. So instead of the dulcimer sound, we shifted the PCM up. And I'm going to do a follow-up video on this with advanced programming techniques that I'll share with you for some of this stuff. But there's a shift parameter on the oscillator page of a layer. And as shifting the piano up, it becomes thinner. When you shift it down, it becomes warmer like a harp. The old Piano Still Dreams is a more spacey piano. Zither's nice and thin and then right from there into really bright, in-your-face. That's big square. Here's a interesting take on a saw synth. That sound is from the distortion having a reverb go in front of it so that it keeps getting nicely broken up and distorted all the time. Evil Calling. Mortal Kombat! Stuff like that. Evil Calling 2. So if you need big synth, we do big synth. Quest for the Nile. We got big covered. This pad is kind of a tribute to Untiverse, which is a patch on the Korg M1 a friend of mine, McKelly, made many, many years ago. It uses a similar concept with a high-pitched motion type sound that's using a pitch LFO really slowly through delays. Plus I add distortion on the mod wheel. This actually has a really cool trick. If you bring the mod wheel up and play notes, and then bring him down. It gets crazy bright, but it's cool. So you can use that as a cool transition trick. Lost in Tokyo. And then here's the polyphonic pad version of Mordor on the mod wheel. Told you earlier about the bass right here. Mad Mordor. This is the original version. Then I decided to make a bass out of it. And from there to Fairy Rain Harp. Some synthy stuff. I'm using the mod wheel to shorten the release of the envelopes. Shift the harmonics a little bit. So you, butterfly vox stab. A customer of mine asked me to make something fun, like you'd find at a carnival. So and the Dreamy Carnival okay, so there you go. Paste to send me feedback. Dormant because it's hiding until you move the mod wheel. Massive wall of waves. Here's Pinnacle Pluck. Proud to be Square's big. More unison. Here's the Assault version, which is distorted and kind of. I was like, some people might need that cleaner. Top Gun. Then we get to the Typhoons. These are 1, 2, and 3 octave big unison transpose. So here's just 1 octave. Okay, 2 octave. And 3 octave. Unidropper is a series of pitchy G patches, the longest one being the whole note, where you play 1 note. And it's tempo matched, and it's synced, which means if you go over here to the envelope page for this envelope, it is synced, so the pitchy G will go and stop exactly at the end of a measure, and it's set to sync. Not to loop. If I turn on loop, then it loops. Don't want it to loop, but it's synced, which means whatever tempo you set your host sequencer to, it will follow it. And then we made different versions for a little bit shorter one. 8th note. And then the shortest being the 16th. Finally, chipmunk jazz. So that's the library. Oh, one more thing I want to show you real quick. So if we go to, say, Typhoon. Let's go to the effects. Perfect. There's no effects for layer A or B, just for common. So if you click presets, you'll see the Guru rack. And here are all these effect patches. Here's gated reverb. Just reverb with a little bit of echo going into a gate. If you need to be punchy and bright, you could just go down here and add a compressor to it. Like that. I didn't do that for the patch because a lot of times you won't need that. Then here you get to all sorts of different smoky. Doesn't even sound like the original patch, right? That's what the effects do. They change the sound in cool ways. Now, if you go to the mix, here's bright EQ, and I wrote the names to be long and kind of cryptic, but if you look at it closely, it tells you exactly what effects and what order you will find. EQ, long verb, EQ, slam means compressor. So if we go to this one, got a nice bright, thin, punchy thing. So if we turn these off, turn them on, so there's 50 to play from, and they do all sorts of cool things to the sound. Some of them are taken from some existing patches. If you go to the Slam Real Room, here's Fixed Slammer Limiter. Just makes it really big but dry. So lots to play with. So those are included in as well as the patches. So make sure you go over here and play with them. There's some fun stuff. Here's huge verb, delay limiter. Okay. So there's a tips and trick for Omnisphere coming up. And there's actually one other video that's in the works I can't tell you about that I'm very excited about. So thank you for watching. If you pick up the library, I humbly thank you very much for your support. And take care. See you later. Bye.